Probably the most common question that I get from anybody who has been running advertising for any length of time. They've got the simplest of campaigns up and running, they've got some leads coming through the door, is how do I increase quality? So most coaches, consultants, agencies, basically anybody that does any lead generation style campaigns, they now have some leads coming in, and unless they're seeing like 50x ROIs, they wonder why they're not getting sales. And there's some really, really key things you can do. I'm going to go through 3 simple things in under 20 minutes here, literally under 20 minutes because I've got a call on the other side, in which I'm going to show you exactly how you can take a working campaign, one that is generating leads essentially, and refine it to get even more results out the other side. And so we're looking to drastically increase the ROIs of any ad campaigns that you do in the future. So I'm inside the ads dashboard right here. If you don't know how to get here, if this is your first time actually looking at Facebook ads dashboard in general, then just hit create, hit leads as the objective. And then when you come in here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be spending time in here in the audiences. Okay. And so just so that you know, for easiness of understanding, the way that a Facebook ad campaign is broken down is into 3 steps. So we have number 1, we have new leads campaign. That is the campaign level. Second of all is the ad set. So this is here. The ad set, for easiness of understanding, is the who. Who's going to see your ads and where are they going to see them? And then the ad itself is right here, and that is the images, the copy, etc. Where are you going to send them? Website addresses and things of that nature, okay? And so once you come into the ad set here, so campaign level, just set it as leads as the objective, come in here, and we're going to talk about instant forms, right? So instant forms are amazing because we can get somebody to click the button on our advert and it pops open an instant form. So first of all, we lose people when we send them to a website by simply the load time of the site. And so for instance, we can actually find in the data that for many websites, let's say 100 people click to go to the website, only 85 to 95 of them actually even see the website. So people are hitting the back button before the page loads. So instant forms are amazing because there is no load time. So 100 people click the button, 100 people see the form. The second thing is the instant form actually pops up, and I'm going to show you an instant form in a second as well. But an instant form actually pops open with all their details in place: name, email address, phone number, whatever details that you want that Facebook has is already going to be populated. Okay, so less friction also means that more people will come through and complete the process, and most typically will have a lower cost lead. The one caveat to this, in which more friction gets a lower cost per lead, is in extremely high skepticism markets. Sometimes actually sending them to a place where they feel like they have to work to become a lead is actually something that will encourage people to complete the process of doing so. So if you're in a very high skepticism market, instant forms sometimes aren't the right thing. But anyway, instant forms is what you're going to select here. And we're just going to show you a couple of things here around targeting first. So this is number 1, is to actually refine your targeting. Okay. And so for instance, let's say you're in the fitness space, for instance, right? So quite broad, and let's say that one of the targeting that you're doing is physical fitness. Okay, so a really big chunky one right here. If we were to look at where are we? United States. So there's 130 million people who fall into that audience, for instance, right? Facebook is always going to optimize for the lowest cost per lead, not necessarily the quality of the lead. And so when you've got big chunky audiences like this that you might be targeting, you might be getting leads coming in at 50 cents or 50 pence per lead, which is excellent in terms of volume, but they might just be the type of people that are never going to take any action on the other side. So one thing that you can do here is, first of all, uncheck this box, which can help. It massively reduces it down already. But something else that you can do is you can hit narrow audience. Narrow audience is just quite simply saying they have to be interested in physical fitness, but they also have to be interested in a second thing. So it's not one or the other. It's that they have to be interested in both. Okay, and you can do some pretty cool things here. It can be an interest, but it can also be demographical targeting. It can be behaviors. So an interest might be they also have to be interested in CrossFit, right? Demographic, they also have to be a parent. Or you could say behavior, they also have to be an engaged shopper. So this is another one that is engaged shopper. So this is quite cool. This is anybody who's hit a buy now button in the last 7 days, right? So when we actually set up an advert, there's a whole bunch of buttons that we can choose from. By the way, hack for most people is use the learn more button. It gets drastically higher click-through rates, so more people who see your ads actually click through and go to the other side, open up the form, go to the website, whatever it may be. People who are using buy now buttons typically will have a lower click-through rate, but it's much higher intent. It finds the people who are high intent, who can see a Facebook ad and know that they're interested in potentially taking further action. So it's actually a really, really solid audience of people who in very recent history, last 7 days, have actually seen a buy now button and clicked on it. Okay, so it's actually a really, really good audience to refine things down. And as you can see there, by simply doing that, we've refined this from, I think it was like 90 mil down to like about 50 mil. So shaving off a big, big chunk of it. Now you can do that with anything here, whatever that interest was. You can do engaged shoppers, but like I said, you can also do parents, for instance. Let's say that, especially if you most commonly work with people who are parents, then this is going to be great. So you can just do parents all there, and it's going to refine it down. So this is now about 23 mil on average is their estimate. Okay, so doing that type of thing can work really well. Also another one, I'm going to throw this in just as a bonus. This could maybe make this 5 different ways instead of 3 different ways. But another thing that you can do is just age up, right? And so this isn't, again, always the case. It's not a hard, fast rule, but very often this has been tremendous, which is that some people will say to me, well, I work with people anywhere between the ages of 21 and 45, right? So they'll therefore, when they set up their ads, have their ads from 21 to 45. Now, in this case, the click-happy people are quite often of the younger age demographic. And so if we want to find more people with more buying power, less flaky, will turn up to calls, will buy on the call, then simply aging up and starting somewhere like here, or maybe even all the way up to 30 to 45, can lower the amount of people who are in the audience, as you can see once again, but it also finds everybody who is in that age demographic. So for instance, your calls or your calendar is getting booked up, but now every single person on your calendar is between the age of 30 and 45, perhaps more established, more buying power, and a faster decision maker as well. Okay. The second thing I'm going to show you, which is kind of now the third thing, now that I just went through that as well. So the third thing that I'll show you here is the form itself. So if we go here and create an instant form, so this is what you're going to have to do if you selected leads and then you selected instant form at the ad set level. So you're going to have to create a form here anyway. When you first start a form, most people go for more volume. They're almost like, why would I want anything else other than volume? It's like, I just want leads, right? But what you actually want here is, well, higher intent is so adding a review step that gives people a chance to confirm their info. This is at the end. I'm actually going to show you, I suppose, this is turning into like 7 ways instead of 3 ways that was the intent when I first started this, and that's the AC just turned on as well, so sorry if it's muffling things slightly here. But higher intent at the end is basically like, here's all your info, confirm that you want to go to the next step. That one little bit of friction there is going to increase the quality of the person coming through. And remember, Facebook is optimizing to find more people like the first people that opted in. So yes, the cost per lead is going to go up a little bit by doing this, but it is also going to find higher intent people, and it is also going to get Facebook to go and find more people who are akin to the people who took that action, okay? And so I'm actually going to go into a 4th one here, and then we're going to go into a 5th one. So we're actually going to make this video 5 ways to increase the quality of the leads that you're getting from Facebook ads. So we're going to go with more volume on the front end, and we're going to go to next here. So intro, questions. So from here, what we're going to do is we are going to go add a question. So we're going to actually ask questions on the front end before they can submit their details. One simple question will drastically increase the quality coming through. So let's just say it's like multiple choice, for instance. Let's say you know, I'm running a masterclass specifically for coaches, teaching them Facebook ads. Well, something as simple as, do you have a coaching business? Yes, no. And we can use these here to actually, if they say no, that they actually go to a thank you page that says you don't qualify. But also just by simply having something like that, remember I said at the start of the video that if you add friction there, right, and make people feel like they're being qualified before they can actually jump onto a call with you or opt into the thing, it can actually increase how much that they want to opt in, how much they want to get to the other side, how much they want to potentially work with you on the other side as well, because they can see that you don't just pick and choose, you don't just take anybody, right? So it's not making it as easy as possible, it's actually making it more difficult to find the right type of people that you specifically want to work with. So actually adding in these questions here can be absolutely incredible for if I just show you here, conditional logic. So from here we can do close form here, so it closes form if they say no, and then here you can do submit form, or you can do go to next question. So you can do submit form, for instance. So I'm going to take this out. And so by having this simple step at the front here can drastically increase the friction, which can get more people to take action on the other side, okay? And the final thing before, I've got 8 minutes before the next call, is what happens afterwards, right? A lot of people say, I just don't have the right quality of lead coming through because they're not booking calls. Or I don't have the right quality of lead coming through because they're booking calls but they're not showing up to the calls. Well, sometimes it can be what happened afterwards. It's not the person, it's the systems and what they're experiencing, okay? And so the next thing to look at here is what happens after the opt-in. So do you encourage them to go to a landing page? If you do, what does the landing page look like? So first off, landing page first impressions. Because if we go back here, what you're going to see is that at the end in here, so we have two end pages because we have the questions on the front end. So you can customize the end page for each of them individually. So sorry, you don't qualify, and yes, you do qualify. So let's go for leads here. So the end page could say something like success, or we'll say successful applicant, and then headline will say success, and then now click below for next steps. Watch the intro video to take immediate action. Obviously, I'm not pointing at 5-day challenges, I'm not pointing at paid challenges, I'm not talking about lead magnets, I'm not talking about anything in specific here. So obviously, like, we would refine this based upon what it was and what we're actually going to send people to. But then you can have a website here, you can link to it, and then you can change the call to action. So like watch now is a good one if it's a video you want to send people to. If it's a Facebook group, so like 3-day, 5-day challenges, then it would be join the private group. Adding private in there, we found quite drastically increases the click-through rate from this to the group. Well, actually just group requests. So for instance, instead of having 100 people come through and then on the other side, you know, have 43 people request access to the group, you can have like 85 people request access to the group, instead. So just having that in there. So first impression of what happens on the other side and where you send them. Sending them to a page that is, you know, really messy, not aesthetic. Maybe you built it for desktop and it looks terrible on mobile. Those first impressions will drastically create drop-off in terms of people taking further action with you. They might have been the perfect person to come through, but it was such a terrible first impression for them on the other side of becoming a lead that they were never booking a call with you anyway. So it's not the lead quality, it's their experience on the other side. And then the next thing here is communications. And so email sequence, 7 to 10 days, and then SMS times 2. And so if this was like 4 years ago, just checking time again, if this was 4 years ago, I'd be telling you that don't put phone number in there unless you have a dynamite SMS plan of action on the other side of somebody opting in, or indeed you call all of your leads or something along those lines, because it would sometimes double, triple, or quadruple the cost per lead. Whereas in 2024, we're seeing that in many cases, it doesn't actually increase the lead cost at all. Sometimes it can increase the lead cost 5, 10, sometimes 15%. But even in the top line there of like 15% increase in cost per lead, when you have the phone number and SMSs have a 97 to a 99% open rate most commonly, then this is an amazing place to communicate with people on the other side. It also showcases that you're sharp, that your business systems are sharp, and therefore people know that they're in the hands of a professional, right? Which is a great thing. Again, if this comes from cold traffic, people that have never ever heard of you before, then this is another way of communicating with them in a way that showcases that you know what you're doing, okay? And so the email sequence, people often get these wrong as well, and they just hit them with a whole bunch of value. So it's like, I'm just gonna roughly do this for you. Day 1, intent is to get them to use the thing. Okay, so focus on getting them to actually use the thing that they requested. So most people opt into things thinking, that's great, I really want that, I'll look at it later on. And then they never do. And especially when people forget to actually talk about it in the email sequences, etc. And so day 1, the intent is to get them to go through and actually utilize it. So watch the training, etc. Don't focus on trying to get book calls or convincing them that you're the perfect person or whatever that is. Day 2, story. Have them connect with you. What is your story? How did you learn the thing that you're now teaching? How many people and how many lives have you changed? Showcase some social proof facts in there, but really connect with them and get them to know that you understand them, okay? So story is really key. Then from there, you can go into an array of different things here, but I'm going to say for speed here, day 3 to day, let's say 10 even, right? Okay, from day 10, we're going to talk about education. So showing that you have the smarts, right? So educational content, my 5 best ways to do this. If you've got a YouTube channel, send them to YouTube videos. Absolutely unbelievable for warming people up, okay? Education, pain point, highlighting key pain points to increase the likelihood that they are actually going to take immediate action and book that call with you. Next one, objection handling. This is better at the tail end on day 8, 9, 10, those types of places. Direct CTA. So we have something called the free coaching email. It's absolutely amazing. We'll typically have it enter the sequence about day 7, and the call booking rate is absolutely amazing. Essentially, it's like, are you going to redeem a free 30-minute strategy session or something to that effect? Loads of our coaches use it, and it's a complete game changer. We can do another video on like detailing some of these, going through some of these emails. Let me know down below if that would be valuable to you. I'm going to say for SMSs, day 1, the thing. So just like this here, you want these to be the same. So immediately after they opt in, or 15 minutes after they opt in, send them an SMS that basically says, thanks so much for downloading this. It's now in your emails, or here's the here's the link to go through and grab it. The next one is about day 5, 6, or 7. Direct CTA. Hey, hope you're getting on really well with the checklist. Just to let you know, I've just opened up a handful of spaces for the next 72 hours on my calendar. If you want to jump onto a 30-minute strategy session directly with myself, here's the link to go through and grab a space. That simple call to action there is absolutely dynamite. So this has been somewhere in the region of 5 to 7 different ways to increase lead quality and get a higher ROI from your Facebook ads. If this has been valuable, do the same as usual, all the YouTube malarkey, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you on the next video.